So I'm just gonna do a quick intro for YouTube. Just in case I upload this to YouTube, we'll see. I uploaded a video a few weeks ago where this gentleman here, a Jin main, had some reservations regarding my opinions on Tekken 7 and the balancing of Jin. He felt that I'd screamed for nerfs for Season 2 Jin, and when he was needlessly nerfed, he found my opinion to be dumb and kind of counterproductive to the community. I was toxic for throwing balancing opinions left and right. So he had some reservations about me. I made a response to his video where I detailed that, you know, in a very respectful manner, I feel, where I felt he went wrong with his opinions. He has now made a response video to my response video, as you do on YouTube. That's the way this works. So without further ado, I have a beer, chat is ready, my pants are down, let's go.
Good morning, stoners. So, yeah.
Okay, so first off, this is a response to main man. My subs ain't stoners, they are mailmen. They deliver the mail.
This happened. So, first thing about this, first thing I want to clear up is the way my name is pronounced is Jeremy Molinax. Which is interesting because the way Adrian pronounced it is actually the original French way to pronounce it. The Molinaxes are like French, pretty sure. I got an
French.
uncle who's obsessed with that stuff. They used to be judges, and they came over to America on the boat after the Plymouth. So the second boat to America, like 200 years ago. But the American way to pronounce my name is Jeremy Molinax.
Molinax, but it's spelled kind of Molyneux. Again, let me know if the volume is off.
How this whole thing went down was a bit more like this.
Never start with the head. The victim gets all fuzzy. He can't feel the neck. See?
You wanted me. Here I am.
But I know the truth. There's no going back. You've changed forever.
And why do you want to kill me?
I don't want to kill you. What would I do without you? No, you complete me.
You're garbage.
Even to a guy like me, that's cold. See, I'm not a monster.
I never called him garbage.
I'm just ahead of the curve.
So, yeah, Adrian put some time and effort into this video. And there's some parts of it that I absolutely fucking love and die laughing. Like, if I'm going to do the day and I just want to have a laugh and smile, I just think about the part where Adrian's like, look at this guy with his pecs and his condescending smile and me looking like a speck. That shit still makes me laugh. And whoever put the comment, this guy's got more hair than he has brains, that motherfucker wanted the comment of the day. And then people were copying and pasting that.
I mean, I'm sorry, but that's why I love the guy. Like, say what you want about his opinions on the game, but he is pretty funny and he doesn't mind people poking a little bit at him. That's why I don't mind him poking at me, you know, because I feel like he exposes, when I say exposes himself, I'm not saying he's flashing his dick. I'm saying he shows his face, lets you hear his voice, and he just doesn't mind. He doesn't give a shit, you know. He tells it like he sees it with his opinions, and I can only respect that, to be honest. That's a lot of people don't do that.
That's how you properly roast somebody. That shit was funny, but since Adrian put all this time and effort into this video, I got to do a response back. Here's my response to this entire video. I'm still right about everything.
Give that close-up was epic. I'm still right about everything.
Look at you go.
the beginning.
Quite the scene to use as, you know...
Nothing to threaten me with. Nothing to do with all your strength.
Okay, all joking
I mean, we're
aside,
discussing Tekken balancing,
okay,
Jeremy.
I
We're
did
not,
actually mean that.
we're not
I am,
discussing, you know...
right about that video. But
blowing people
but
up.
Here's the thing. There's a lot more going on behind the scenes, and there's a bigger picture here that you guys don't know about. And that's what I want to fill you in. I want to fill you in on the things that are behind the scenes that you guys don't know, and the bigger picture that's going on with this. But like first off, man, I did that video over 3 months ago. And a lot has happened in the last 3 months. And you think that motherfucker just now saw that video? Hell no, he didn't just fucking see that video. I mean, he was Twitch acting. He saw that shit forever ago. And yes, well, anyway,
I hear a lot. People write Twitch acting a lot. Sorry, I don't spend. I spend some time on the internet, but not with Twitch memes. I guess that means you're acting on Twitch. You're pretending to do. I never do that, like ever. And I did. That was my first time watching your video, Jeremy.
like Adrian,
and it was
I consider him a
hilarious.
friend. We've been friends on Facebook. We messaged each other like the last month or something like that. He was just getting that shit off his chest, man. I took some jabs at him. He took some jabs back at me. But fucking whatever. But And yes, I do call Adrian a motherfucker, but I told that to him. I'll be like, listen, I'm going to call you a motherfucker because you actually are one. Think about it. I know that went over a bunch of you guys.
I can only respect that.
Oh my god!
And
you
I
just
call
called
him a
man
fucking
motherfucker.
douche fuck.
But trust
A
me, one day
bald
his son will
fucking
get that joke.
douche
I'm sure his
fuck.
girlfriend already does. And after you guys grow up and go through puberty, I'll explain it to you. But yeah, that motherfucker, he saw that video like fucking months ago. And the thing about that video is that whole video was not directed toward him. It was directed toward correcting a mindset. And then I did have to address Adrian, but there's more to that than meets the eye. But here's the thing. Adrian isn't the only one who's been watching my videos. Alright, I'm gonna, you guys are actually gonna fucking learn something today. I'm gonna teach you guys something. Okay, so I've spent a lot of my life when I'm not hanging out with friends or spending time with my goddaughter or drawing or working out or going to work or something like that. But sometimes what I do with my free time is I like to go to Barnes & Noble. I don't know if you've all seen...
Sorry. Ducky has watched this video and he's giving us the highlights and he says, ring, 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 red alert, skip to 10 minutes, 50 seconds. Thank you, Ducky.
It's crazy. So back to the thing of mirroring when somebody has a subject that you're fascinated or
JISC.com, thank you for subbing to the channel.
Or like if a woman finds a dude interesting or attractive, she will mirror him. But for example, I posted in one of my videos, I used this picture of Eris and me to show a comparison between us. Well, soon after I posted that video, Rip posted a video using this.
Are those their cars? Okay, first off, a car implies Aris leaves his apartment. I don't believe it. But, man, Jeremy drives that? Holy shit.
This is the thumbnail. Okay, now put these side by side. Y'all notice anything interesting about these pictures? Even the colors? This is not a coincidence. This is subconscious mirroring, which means he was watching my videos. And I'm sure he's watching this video right now. I'm sure a lot of people are.
Okay, Jeremy got some nice wheels.
What's up, Rickster? What's up, fellas? I also noticed that a lot of commentaries were mirroring the exact same things I was saying in my videos. What's up, fellas? Oh, and by the way, why I got you guys' attention, Avery, stop being a little Leroy fucking bitch. God.
Me?
For those
Did he
of you
say
who don't
me?
know, Avery is Run It Black. Man, Avery, dude, What's wrong with Leroy? Let's play for money. $100 right now. Dude, I'll be like, man, this guy's pretty fucking cool. I actually like him.
Who is he talking about? Is this
throw it
me?
all out the fucking window. Hold on, Avery. Let me check something.
What?
Wait a minute. Yeah, my balls are still dropped. My
No,
dick's
run
still
it
between
black.
my legs. I still use my mains, and if I start struggling, I don't go run into Leroy. Man, stop being so fucking disappointing. Jeez. Anyway, fucking
Rib.
moving on.
Oh, he called him Rib.
Well,
I've never heard that before. I have only heard Run It
posted
Black.
a video concerning the Leroy subject. Immediately after I posted that, No Pants and Eris dropped a video using this thumbnail. Y'all notice anything interesting about this thumbnail? Kind of weird to be posting right after my video of Leroy? Well, immediately after that, Adrian drops this video. And the very next video that No Pants and Eris drop is this one. You guys noticing anything interesting about these three together? And if you put them in order, 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost like the last one's kind of mocking Adrian's. This isn't coincidence. That is actually subconscious mocking. Well, actually, knowing No Pants, that motherfucker's probably mocking him straightforward anyway. But anyway, yeah. And this has been going on since I dropped my fucking videos, and I just never said anything. I knew all these motherfuckers were watching, and I know they're watching it right now. What's up, fellas? Hey, Adrian. What's up, No Pants? Eris. By the way, Eris, yeah, bro, you ain't got nothing to worry about me. I got this whole situation under control, but thanks for looking out, bro. And thanks for, having my back. But you ain't got nothing to fucking worry about these trolls. I got this whole situation under control, but my man, looking out. But, so yeah, I knew all these guys were watching my videos, and when I didn't even have fucking 100 subscribers when I posted that my first video. It had over 2,000 views. I was like, holy shit. And then all my ones were just getting hundreds and hundreds of views. And I was like, fuck, man. And I know all these dudes are watching it. I'm not going to be able to stay a secret for, ever. So I knew something like this eventually would happen. But,
Man.
okay, so in the Bible, there's
off.
a story of Joseph.
Next
Joseph
caller.
is sold as a slave. And he goes to a man's house. He's a slave, but the dude's cool, so the guy puts him in charge of the whole house. The guy's rich, and so Joseph runs the whole house. Well, his wife, his MILF, wants to bang Joseph because he's
But sorry, it took me a while to unwrap that. He meant there was some form of conspiracy between me and Avoiding the Puddles channel in the timing of our uploads and thumbnails. A conspiracy against Jeremy, or... I just had such a hard time following that.
a good-looking dude, but he's not giving up the D. And just like any crazy woman does, she has him thrown into prison. So when he goes to prison, now they're like, oh, this dude, he's got a good head on his shoulders, so they put him in charge, and he runs the entire prison. Now, he interprets a dream for Pharaoh, and then he becomes in second command of Pharaoh and runs the entire nation.
Where
So,
are we now?
you
What
know,
are we discussing?
He's a slave, runs a house, small scale. He's in prison, runs a prison, small scale. And then he's second in command, and then runs an entire nation. Small scale,
Okay,
large
sorry,
scale, right?
Ducky's saying skip to 18 minutes.
I said, I knew this whole fucking shit was coming. Doesn't make them right. So yeah, small scale, large scale, it was the exact same. And back in the day, all my friends used to give me shit because I used lows and throws. And they'd get pissed and stuff like that. So I knew when Adrian's video dropped, I knew what to expect. The backlash of me calling people out for being fucking stupid. I was like, a lot of people ain't gonna like this. Well, I already fucking knew it was coming. And actually, I was in the grocery store, and I put my grocery shopping list on my
This
on
guy's
my phone.
so
And after
fucking
Adrian's,
entertaining.
video dropped,
I
I'm getting
mean
all
that
these fucking
100%. I
notifications,
can't
bing,
get
bing,
enough.
all these messages coming in.
I
Holy
love
fuck. I
listening
actually
to
started
this man.
to message Adrian like, bro, how the fuck do you turn these comments off? And I was like, nah, fuck it, I'll just Google it. Yeah, I went to the webpage. I didn't know you actually turned it off on the phone, which makes me wonder if I get a new phone, if I gotta do that shit again. But whatever. I turned off.
He's gonna convert me to a Jin main. Any day, any video. He's gonna fucking sell me. I'll join.
Fucking
I'll join
notifications.
the team.
But I mean, what I saw is exactly what I expected. before I turned off notifications, and I have not gone to my comment section because I just don't want to fucking waste my time with all the fucking stupid shit that's coming. And I got a gist. There were some guys who would be like, actually, this guy, he has some good points and makes some sense. And then there's other dudes, man, fuck you, you bald bastard piece of shit. You need to pay me attention. Fucking answer my question. Fucking blue eyes, white teeth, in shape, man. Fuck you, Jeremy. I hate your guts. So, yeah, I mean, I was like, yep, I'm definitely in the right fucking community. So, yeah, attack a player. I knew the attack was coming. What I did, I fucking parried it and sidewalked it. Exactly like this. But how could, and I'm sure you're wondering, how could an entire...
But guys, come on in the chat. Please be respectful and kind to him, you know. And the same goes for YouTube comments. Like, don't write disrespectful things. It's quite all right to disagree with someone. You can point that out in the comment section, but yeah, keep it civil, please.
Town be led to believe that lows and throws were cheap. The exact same way, and I'm telling you guys, this whole thing with Adrian and the Tekken community, I've already been through this, and it's fucking crazy because it feels no different. Small scale, large scale. I'm like, holy fucking shit, this is like deja vu completely, and I actually know exactly what to do in all these fucking situations because I've already been through it, already went through it, and now everybody's on the fucking right page, and it's fucking crazy. But if you want to know how that could have happened for them to think that, it's exactly the same thing that's happened on a larger scale for that fucking Season 3 balancing of the game. Now, I'm going to show you this video. I want you to watch this guy and listen to what he's saying. Okay, because
I really wish we just get to the point and say where he disagrees with what I said.
And pay attention. Watch this.
Despite what you might be thinking, these two circles are not equal. I repeat, these two circles are not equal. One is in fact larger than the other. What I need you to do is determine which one that is. So, please raise your hand if you believe the blue circle is larger than the red. All right. Please raise your hand if you believe the red circle is larger than the blue. All right, very good. Now, before I said anything about these two circles, what was your first instinct? Equal, right? Because they look equal. And the reason why they look equal is because, in fact, they are equal. These two circles are identical. Yet I got just about every one of you to raise your hand and say that they're not.
Well, I didn't.
So what did we learn? That you can be manipulated like that to believe in
I
something that goes against your natural instinct.
Been low in agreeableness all my life.
Just imagine, as a child, you're taught that the blue circle is larger than the red. If you say it enough times, you convince yourself that's the truth. If you're told the lie,
Earth is flat. No. No, I won't buy it just because you said it. Xiaoyu is difficult to play. No.
Enough times, it becomes part of your reality. And if enough people are taught that lie, that the blue circle is larger than the red, well, now it becomes part of the culture. And if that culture then passes that misinformation along to the next generation, well, now it becomes tradition. And what we have to remember is that just because we have a tradition doesn't mean it's morally acceptable. Tradition and morality are not always the same.
So this is what's happened. There's absolutely no fucking difference. These two characters are almost identical and almost exactly the same, but everybody's been manipulated to think they have it by the opinion of one guy. Now, for example, let's just go over this. Kazuya has a hell sweep and he has down and both punch buttons. Jin has his down back 4 and he has a hell sweep. And then, yeah, but Jin's hell sweep can launch. I'd be like, Kazuya's is faster and his also does launch. If the wall's cat at corner to your right, you get a full launcher. It also wall splats. Jin's does not wall splat and his hell sweep is slower. On top of that, you could do a double hell sweep because with Kazuya, and you with the first one and the second one connects, you get a full launcher, which gives it a 50-50 mix-up in the back. So Kazuya's Hell Sweep is better. And then you look at Jin's down at 4, which should have not been nerfed, because it launches and Kazuya's launches.
What?
Now Jin's down back 4 is only negative
What did
13.
the circles have to do
Kazuya's
with
is only
anything?
Negative 14. There's only 1 frame difference.
What?
And guess what? Kazuya's is better.
What?
Why? Because it crushes highs. Jin, you're standing in front of him, you could jab it out of it. You try to jab Kazuya, it'll launch him. You'll get launched because it crushes highs. Not
What?
only that, it hits grounded. Not only that,
Ducky, I should go back to what? Skip back.
has a Hell Sweep, and he has almost exactly the same, but everybody...
But this is like, he had that segment he had found on YouTube with that guy discussing the circle sizes with some students or whatever, and he felt that the same applies to Kazuya and Jin, but it's like, what? I just don't understand why you would use that example and then say, look, the circles are the same. I mean, that's 2 circles with different colors, and what we are discussing are 2 characters in a fighting game. So I don't know. Maybe I don't get the point.
Now, for example, let's just go over this. Kazuya has a Hell Sweep, and he has down and both punch buttons. Jin has his down back 4, and he has a Hell Sweep. And then, yeah, but Jin's Hell Sweep can launch. And be like, Kazuya's is faster, and his also does launch. If the wall's cat at corner to your right, you get a full launcher. It also wall splats. Jin's does not wall splat, and his Hell Sweep is slower. On top of that, you could do a double Hell Sweep, because with Kazuya, and you with the first one and the second one connects, you get a full launcher, which gives it a 50-50 mix-up in the back. So Kazuya's Hell Sweep is better. And then you look at Jin's down back 4, which should have not been nerfed, because it launches and Kazuya's launches. Now Jin's down back 4 is only negative 13. Kazuya's is only negative 14. There's only 1 frame difference. And guess what? Kazuya's is better. Why? Because it crushes highs. Jin, you're standing in front of him, you could jab it out of it. You try to jab Kazuya.
Okay. So first off, Jin down back 4 versus Kazuya down 1+2. He feels that they are pretty much identical. The only difference is that Kazuya's is minus 14, Jin's is minus 13. And when he says, well, Kazuya's is better, it launches on counter hit, it also crushes highs. But something that's worth noting here is that Jin's is faster. It comes out at 20 frames. I don't remember the speed of Kazuya's down 1+2. But the most important thing here that he is not, he might mention it, is that Jin's, it's 24. It's 4 frames slower. I knew it was slower, but that's a significant difference in speed. But what you really have to note, what is the most important, is that Jin's down back 4 is +3 on a natural hit. Kazuya's down 1+2 is only +1. And those 2 frames of difference are enormous. And Jin's down back 4 sets up a lot of frame traps he has and builds momentum, whereas Kazuya's down 1+2 can't really be said to build momentum. And it's also very slow. And minus 14, that 1 frame of difference does quite a lot. Suddenly you have many more characters like Bob, for example, who will launch you. And Jin, you know, in this matchup, Jin launches Kazuya's down 1+2 because Jin's while standing 2 is 14 frames. You know, it's a pretty big difference, even though it's only 1 frame. But Jin's, even though Kazuya's down 1+2 launches on counter hit, it is a much worse move than Jin's down back 4. In my opinion.
It'll launch it. You'll get launched because it crushes. Not only that, it hits round. Not only that, you can cancel it. Yeah, but what about Jin's standing 4? What about Kazuya's gut wrencher? They do the same fucking job. Yeah, but Jin's is safe. No, it's not. It's a high. You can duck it and launch punish him.
Oh, come
you
on,
cannot
Jeremy.
Launch punish,
Jeremy,
Kazuya's
don't do me
gut
like
wrencher.
that,
It's only
man.
negative 11. You get a 10 frame punish and that's it. And not only that, if you do the perfect electric wing God Fist after that, how much fucking damage does that take off? It's almost a death combo. It's better than Jin's standing forward. Well, what about Jin's forward 4? What about Kazuya's forward 3 that hits?
Okay, again, yeah. Kazuya's down for 2 is a great tool. Kazuya desperately needs that. It's pretty much the closest he gets to a panic tool outside of back 1+2, which is pretty terrible these days at -12, and it has very little evasive properties. But yes, Jin's standing 4 is safe. And certainly you can say, well, if you duck it, you can launch it. That used to be not super easy to do in Season 2. Now in Season 3, thankfully, it recovers slower on whiff. And something you didn't like, Jeremy. You felt that shouldn't have been nerfed. Well, in Season 2, that move was insane. And again, it's a very fast, is it 13 frames, I think? Homing, pretty decent range counter hit launcher for enormous damage. It's like, you can't really compare it to Kazuya's down for 2. That's completely different, you know. And Kazuya's down for 2 is unsafe no matter what. You know, it's -12.
At range 3.4. Jin's 4/4 doesn't even hit at range 3.
But oh, come on. This is where I don't even want to
What's up, Governor?
debate
Do you
these
plan
moves.
on
Like
doing sub-fights
Jin
on
forward
PS4
4 versus
anytime
Kazuya's
soon?
forward 3. Like, what? One of them, I mean, Jin's forward 4 is faster than Kazuya's forward 3, isn't it? Kazuya's has more range, but Jin's is a counter hit launcher. And Jin can also cancel into Zen from forward 4 and go into mind games and mix-ups. Kazuya's forward 3 is just a kick. Long range for sure, but that's it. Jin has a lot of utility from forward 4 in the mix-ups or just doing it on its own. And again, you know, it's a counter hit launcher.
I think it's like 2.8. And it's only -13, so at that range, it's completely safe. What about Kazuya's sidestep 3 that does a launcher? What about his back 4 that tracks and on counter hit does a tailspin launcher? What about his forward 4 that on counter hit does a full launcher? You don't have to commit to any Zen or anything like that.
Yeah, but Jeremy, the difference here between the characters is that certainly you can show a lot of kicks and attacks Kazuya has that are great. His back 4 is great. His sidestep 3 is great. Forward 4 is great. But what all those moves have in common is that they're pretty slow. Kazuya excels when he has 17 frames or more to play around with. But what is Kazuya's problem? What is his general design? Everything faster, you know, faster than 15 frames, 17 frames, it just doesn't do very well. Whereas Jin has a lot of those types of moves, you know, like standing 4, down forward 1, 13 frames, forward 3, 12 frame mid kick. It's like, that is the big difference. Certainly, if you allow Kazuya some time, he has some excellent tools. But the problem is, when two characters are standing right next to each other and trading blows very quickly, you know, pitbull poking, Kazuya doesn't have a lot to throw at the opponent, whereas Jin excels at that, you know, and also has a decent 50-50, you know, he's very all-round. And that's why I think he illustrates perfectly here why they are so different. I hope he goes into down forward 1 and poking. We'll see.
It also does better tracking because it's a forward move, and it also hits grounded. And all 4 of those moves I just mentioned of Kazuya are safe. These characters are exactly the same. The only difference between them is a couple pokes and a couple strings. That's it. They are exactly the same. And Adrian's contradicted.
A couple of pokes. What did he say? A couple of strings. And then Jin has stances. He has a back 2-4 parry. He has easy mode punishment. He has a can standing launcher, down 3-4, no execution. Kazuya doesn't have that. Do you know how much that does for reliability? And just looking at the combos, Jin's Hell Sweep. I mean, it's,
himself to say that Kazuya doesn't need some better pokes and stuff like that. Kazuya already has good pokes. The only problem is his dick jab medium goes into crouch. His wall standing forward comes from crouch. Just give him one where he's fucking standing. That's it. That's like having a chess set and Kazuya's missing like 3 pawns. And then he's saying, take 3 pawns away from Jin. Man, fuck that. Give Kazuya 3 pawns and then it's a fair fucking game. And it contradicts himself to say that the only thing between these two that is missing is a couple pokes and a couple strings. Other than that, they're the exact same. But what he wants to do is drag one person down. No, this mindset needs to be abandoned because these characters are almost exactly the same. And all this whole thing has come from the opinion of one person, and he's wrong. But here's the thing, and I want you guys to understand this. I'm not judging Adrian, and I both don't put the blame on him.
Certainly not.
I'm not judging him because I used to think like that too. But what happened is I grinded it out with my brother. I grinded it out with my friends. And then you get to a point where you start to see, wait a minute, it has nothing to do with the fucking characters. And you're like, and after you reach that point and you get to the point where you're like, holy shit, this whole game's about mind games. It's balanced and it's fair, and then you can start to see that you can actually take. And I was able to get to a point where I could take a character and switch them out with another character and find moves that are similar to the one I switched out and use them the exact same way. It didn't matter. That's how Nee does it. If you'll ever watch Nee, everybody's like, he's a master of all these fucking characters. Watch Nee. Nee only has to pick out the moves that work with Nee's style, and that way he can just he plays the same with everybody. So all he has to do is find the moves that match that. He's reached that level. I understand that level.
That is correct about
And
me.
it's because of offline play. I was able to grind it out because of offline play and reach that level to where I got to the mindset where it has nothing to do with the characters. And this mindset needs to be fucking abandoned because it's wrong. But, and the one thing that Adrian's missing that has kept him stuck, because my mom has this saying, it's really simple, but when you think about it, it's very profound. She says, if nothing ever changes, nothing ever will. I was like, damn. I mean, that's simple. It's easy to understand, but it's pretty profound. See, the one thing that Adrian's missing is offline play. The way I was able to get past thinking like that was offline play. Why are the Pakistans so good? Offline play. Why does Eris and the guys in California look at the game differently? Because of offline play. Why are the Koreans so good? Offline play. What is Adrian missing? Only key he's missing is offline play. But here's the thing about this. Adrian knows I'm right also, and he got this. When he went to Evo and he was around those people, he got it. He understood it. Watch this.
I've realized that
I fucking
the
love his
competitive
delivery.
aspect actually excites me way more than I thought it would. And I've realized, and yeah, knock on wood here, but I'm never gonna salt again on stream unless it's really laggy. But I'm never gonna salt due to a character matchup again, or feeling that someone plays cheesy.
I used a little bit
Yeah,
too
okay, these are
strong
big
words here, I
words
gotta say.
Considering I can be pretty salty, but
I'll never
I just
salt
felt like
again.
something clicked.
Jesus, you're playing Tekken
when I was there,
ranked.
it's like I just, bam. No, I actually want to. I didn't think I wanted to earlier, but now seeing Evo, I'm like, I wanna try again maybe next year and see if I can do better, or maybe get 97.
I don't really
points
regret
again
saying
would be
that
epic.
because
But maybe
I
also
am
see,
much
maybe I can
better
do
these
even
days
better.
when it comes
Like,
to salt. Like,
I'm
I
gonna
very
learn every
rarely
single
get
matchup in
salty
the
these
game.
days, but of
Next
course it
time I'm in
happens.
ranked battle with Kazuya and I encounter an Eliza or a Kuma, I'm just gonna stick with it. I'm not gonna play 5 matches and then go, I hate this match, whatever. I'm gonna see if I can get anything else. No, I'm gonna stick with it, and I'm gonna learn that matchup 100%. Yoshi, oh, it's a Yoshi. Stick with it, learn it 100%. And I'm gonna patch all of these holes I have when it comes to character knowledge. and I'm gonna improve my punishment. I'm not bad at punishing, but I could be much better considering my execution. So that's something I'm gonna really take to heart, and I know if I patch those two very well, I'm gonna have probably a very sound and safe and strong Kazuya to compete with next year. So
Are we gonna listen to
on
my
a
whole
personal
video,
level,
or is all of this relevant?
something happened there where I feel like my what's it called? My not attitude to the game, but my perception of who I want to be, you know, as a Tekken player, it kind of changed a little bit. I've never felt the competitive angle interested me very much, rather than playing for fun, you know, in ranked and doing what I thought was fun. But being there at EVO, it's like, I don't know, something, just the amazing atmosphere and the fun of competing. Just, I didn't think it was going to be that fun competing. So it's something I want to do more in the future, and I want to see how good I can get at that, how good I can become. So yeah, but very interesting evolution there. So yeah, knock on wood now. We're gonna see if I can. I'm gonna salt at lag. That's never gonna go away. But when it comes to the character matchup, I'm gonna change there.
See, Adrian was already on the path to start changing and going down a new mindset. But what happened when he came back from Evo is he got it. And see, the thing about it is Adrian's really smart. He picks up on concepts like that. So it didn't surprise me. I was getting excited because I've already been in his shoes and been down that path. I was like, this is going to be fucking exciting. I cannot wait to see Adrian where he goes with this. But what happened is he got back home, and when he was away from it, you know, getting in the same pattern, he had all this fucking bullshit with the let's nerf more characters, and then it happened. And that's what brought me out to make that one video. But it wasn't about Adrian. If you watch that video, it was not focused on him. It was correcting a mindset. But I also had to fucking correct Adrian because I didn't know back then that there is a fucking problem in Namco. And we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I got Adrian's mindset had to get course corrected. But regardless, he was going to go down that path. I already know it. Once he started going to tournaments and stuff like that, he's too smart. He's too good at the game. He was going to go there. He was going to be able to change and get out of the mindset that he's been in about nerfing characters. Because once he started figuring it out, he's like, oh, characters don't fucking matter. That was dumb. But what happened is after I posted that video, at the end of the video, I said I unsubscribed to him, and I did because I didn't give a fuck about hearing that kind of stupid whine and bullshit. Well, a couple days after I unsubscribed to him, I'm going through my YouTube feed. And then one of his videos pops up. This is the one that had the copy and paste of all the Akumas. And I was like, man, what the fuck is this dude's fucking shit doing on my YouTube feed? I was like, I thought I unsubscribed to him. And I read the title and I misinterpreted it. And I thought he was being a ding-dong again. I was like, man, Adrian, you're just causing more fucking damage. And I got so irritated. And I started to scroll past it. But I was so irritated. I was like, man, fuck this. And I hit play and I watched it. And I started watching him. I started listening to him. I was kind of blown away and completely surprised. And I was like, oh, he gets it. He sees it now. He understands the cancer.
And then I coomed.
And then Aris posted a video, exact same time, seeing the same thing. I was like, oh, he sees it too. He gets it. And y'all could go back and you could watch this. From that time, he started course correcting back into the direction that he wanted to do after Evo. And I watched him. And he was getting back on the right path. And I subscribed back. He earned my respect. I didn't give it to him. He fucking earned it like that. Because the kid's smart. He's smart as fuck. And he started getting it. But I also noticed that when he started course correct and he started getting more bold in his course correct, what happened? In his comments, people started calling him a hypocrite because he just started saying something different back there. And now Adrian's in this awkward fucking situation because I'm in a different scenario than him. This is his job. This is not my job. I don't get paid a dime for these fucking things. I do it because passion of the game and I actually give a fuck about all these morons. Even Adrian, even Eric's, even all the fucking guys, the entire community. I actually give a fuck. That's why I make these videos. But this is also his job. This is how he pays his bill. This is how he feeds himself. He feeds his son, he feeds his girlfriend, he feeds his fucking
Jesus fucking right. What the fuck?
Right? But he's doing it in front of all these people, and if he makes a mistake, this is coming out of his pocket too. So he's in this awkward situation. Adrian, even Eric's, even all the fucking guys, the entire Tekken community. I actually give a fuck. That's why I make these videos. But this is also his job. This is how he pays his bill. This is how he feeds himself. He feeds his son. He feeds his girlfriend. He keeps his fucking lights on. And now he's in this awkward situation to where he can't grow because he's going through growing pains, and he's learning how to fucking he's learning things, right? But he's doing it in front of all these people, and if he makes a mistake, this is coming out of his pocket too. So he's in this awkward situation. So this video he dropped, I know part of him he wanted to do it because I took some jabs at him. He took some jabs at me. I don't fucking mind. I like Adrian. I consider him a friend. He cracks me up, especially when he does that "it made me come" bullshit. Man, that shit makes me fucking laugh every damn time. Dumbass.
Okay, but, I also like those.
And then there's a part that he felt like he had to do it because it was more job security. And then there's a part of him that didn't want to do it because he also knew the backlash that was going to come toward me. And that's why he asked for my permission first. But what he doesn't realize is I knew the backlash was coming too, and I'm completely fucking fine with it because I've already been through it.
Yeah, so I'm going to clarify a few... I've let him speak a lot. I'm going to clarify a few things. I asked his permission to post a reply to his video because I felt like no matter what I say in terms of like, dear followers, please keep it civil. You know that a couple of people are going to go to his YouTube and try and, harass him, and call him all kinds of shit. And I wish people wouldn't do that because it's fun if we can have an exchange without that sort of stuff. And it's like when he calls me a motherfucker, and it's in a pretty loving way, I think. It's like when I call him, what did we say? Bald, fuck? I don't remember. It's in a loving way, I mean, I gotta say I respect this guy. He's too much fun. But also what he said about when we watched my video and I used very big words and said, "I'll never salt again." Oh, sweet, sweet child. It's like, I absolutely discovered something at Evo, and it's like, I want to become more of a competitive player. And I've changed quite a bit. I've learned a lot of new characters. I understand most characters now. I do salt way less than if you just look back at my archives. Even in August, after Evo, August, September, I salted quite a bit. But then I changed. And it's because I reached, I was sort of in a depression and for numerous reasons. And then I reached 100,000 subs. And I guess that too, what I thought was that was going to give you confidence. That's what I think. Shouldn't that be an ego boost, getting 100,000 subs? What it did to me, I literally, and I'm not kidding, I got terrified. I got super nervous. And where I've always been, very loose in what I say and whatever. That's because I've never felt I've been talking to a huge audience. But now, as soon as I reached 100,000, I felt the number was pretty intimidating. And suddenly I was like, Jesus, I'm actually now talking to a lot of people. And that made me very, very nervous. And I started reevaluating how I talk in my videos and so forth. But I think I came out of that less salty. But Jesus, to say after Evo that I'm never gonna salt again, or only with lag, never due to matchups, it's so unbelievably naive. I can't even believe I ever said that. It's if you play ranked battle 5 hours, 5 days per week, a total of 20 to 25 hours, like there's just no way you're going to be salt free, especially when you have a a decent audience. People want to snipe you. People want to, annoy you with key charges and plugs and Leroys and Xiaoyus. It's impossible.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about offending and pissing people off. I'm just going to say what's right. So he's been put in this awkward situation to where he's trying to fucking learn and get better. But this is not his fault. This is not Adrian's fault. He should have never been put in this situation before. This is Michael Murray's fault. All right? And Namco, because I didn't realize until Leroy dropped what was actually going on, and it reminded me that Harada has been taken out and put somewhere else in Namco. And now they got Michael Murray making the decisions. Now, of course, they're going to do this behind closed doors and not say it out loud, but I'm going to show you how I fucking know this. All right. In body language, when somebody comes up and puts their hand on your shoulders or your lower back, it's a sign that they actually, they like you. They consider you like a friend or something like that, but it's also a subconscious sign that they're the one that's in control, that they're the ones in charge. It's like what a parent does to a kid. They put their hands on their shoulders and they guide them and stuff like that. So there's some...
This is very interesting psychology. And what I've seen during my life is that people who get offended by someone putting a hand on their shoulder are people and sorry, this is just from my point of view, are usually people who have some self-esteem issues to begin with. I feel a little bit insecure, and they see someone doing this as as dominance. I'm more dominant than you. They see it as condescending, whereas I've always, when I'm with my friends, and we, I don't know how to pronounce. How to translate it into English, but we're pretty. Maybe some Swede can translate grabbiga. And I just see this as a loving sign, a sign of love. Like, I like you. I pat friends on the shoulder. They pat me on the shoulder. It's
arrogance behind it. Y'all ever been in a picture and then somebody comes behind you and they put their arm around you and they put it on your shoulder and you get this weird fucking feeling like they're kind of above you? It's almost this kind of, but they're not, they don't mean it like that. They're just like, I like you, but you get this weird fucking feeling. That's because in their head, even though they like you, they have this thought that they're above you. And it comes out subconsciously. Now, y'all remember that video in at the Tekken finals where Harada comes up and he's talking to Tasty Steve and he was like, "You're a good commentator, but that singing, you gotta fucking stop it." Pay attention to the details of what Michael Murray does during that. What he does is he comes up behind Rip. He puts his hand on his shoulder. He tells him to move his other arm. He pats him on the shoulder. He pulls back. And after Harada goes, "Stop that," he walks away. Michael Murray comes in and says, "You can keep singing." What he's doing there, he can't take it that Harada... Now, Harada's talking to him on an equal level. But Michael Murray coming up is putting his hand on Rip like he owns him. That's the subconscious text behind it. But it isn't just Rip. That's symbolism to the entire Tekken community. Because Michael Murray just can't stand it. Why did he have to feel the need to come up?
But that's just a way of getting someone's attention. I mean, Rip is working. He's facing the other way. So he's just very gracefully... signaling to Rip through that hand that I'm now going to give you a message. So first hand and then blah blah blah. It's just a way of getting very carefully getting Rip's attention.
When Harada's talking to him because he couldn't take it anymore. And here's the thing, you can reverse role when you see somebody doing a body language. All you have to do is put your body in that scenario. Your subconscious will program your brain and you can actually feel what they were feeling. So if you came up to a person and you put your hand on their shoulder, said move the other arm, patted him on the shoulder, you can feel what he's feeling. And then Harada says stop that. He walks away. Michael Murray says you can keep doing it. So he comes up, puts his hands on him, pats him on, move your arm, pats him on the shoulder. Stop that. You can keep doing it. If you do that, you'll feel what he's feeling in here. It's fucking arrogance. He feels like he should be running the show. And he is running the show. Because you guys aren't fucking paying attention. Okay, now take that information, what I just showed you, with Michael Murray.
I mean, what is this? I don't get this. Was this supposed to be a response to my video? He's not even going through my points. We're 40 minutes in and we're discussing the pubic hairs on Tasty Steve's juicy cock. And I feel like we're not discussing the topic we were supposed to discuss.
Fucking stunt, whatever it was, and I don't know. See, man, if that was fucking me, good lord, if I was sitting there and some bitch came up and said, put his hand on my shoulder and then told me to move my arm, man, I'd be like, one, my fucking hand's already here, and get your fucking hand off me, and don't you ever fucking touch me again, Michael. Yeah, they probably wouldn't want me to ever be like a commentator or stuff like that. I just wouldn't fucking tolerate that kind of bullshit. But whatever. But you guys take that information.
Yeah, that's a pretty chill guy. Like, puts a hand, you know, don't you fucking touch me! Like, I was just going to tell you to, you know, turn around and say, great match.
And then put it with this tweet that Harada just posted.
That would be a very smooth, you know, Clark Gable, Hollywood, you know, cool guy, you know. No, don't touch me, no!
Where he's like, you have to sit the hell down. However, when I asked the tuning team, they said, we are debugging a new tuning, multiple characters for mid-late January. Read that again and pay attention and start asking the right questions. Okay? Read that again. Harada came up and he said, when I asked the team, when I asked, and they said, we are debugging.
Oh no, the red lines. Soon we'll have red arrows. It's all a conspiracy. There's a hidden code here. Jeremy is going to deconstruct it for us.
Harada said, when I asked, they said, we are debugging. When I asked, we are debugging. When I asked, we are debugging. Why is Harada asking this team this question? And why?
So that's where the hidden treasure of El Trabador is buried. Jeremy found it. In a tweet from Harada.
This team will not just be all of a sudden be like, hey, we just feel like doing a balance update all of a sudden. Why is Harada asking that? Normally he's the one who would be telling them that. And he knows exactly who the fucking go-to and
this is the best Tekken video I've ever watched. And it's not about Tekken at all.
Somebody already fucking told them to start working on this. They're scrambling behind the scenes. Because it's fucking Michael Murray. It's not Harada, but they haven't told this to the public. It's just right there in front of you guys' faces. But you just haven't picked up on it. I have picked on it because I've studied this fucking shit for years. And this is fucking idiotic and stupid for Namco to do, to take the most important piece, Harada, and put him somewhere else. Because every company, every fucking thing starts from the top and goes down. It starts from the vision.
I mean, seriously,
of the person
Jeremy is a fucking
and
god.
all you have to do is look at other companies and things like that.
I can listen to this guy for like 8 hours
my
straight.
favorite car on the planet is an Aston Martin. All you got to do is look at the fucking owner of Aston Martin. No, he has
doesn't make any fucking sense.
CEO
But his
of Lamborghini.
delivery is so
And then
passionate. I
things like
can't
movies like,
help but like the guy. Like,
Christopher Nolan.
you go
made
get
the,
him, Jeremy.
The Batman.
They're out to
trilogy.
get ya.
He made Interstellar. He made Inception. His new movie Tenet coming out looks awesome. But all of them have a Christian Nolan feel. They all had the vision of him. And then you got Michael Bay, who made things, and everybody knows the difference between
so
a
we
Michael
have
Bay movie. They all look the same.
Aris,
He
No
made the
Pants,
Transformers,
Main
he made
Man,
Bad Boys.
Rip,
And then you
Murray,
got,
Harada,
people like Steven
all
Spielberg.
conspiring versus the
Made some of
Jin
the best
mains.
movies we've ever seen.
Steven
and then you got this
Spielberg.
badass motherfucker
What?
for 2.5 decades who has been the face.
Sorry,
and the
I've
heel
missed
and the
20
drive
seconds.
of the
Where are
entire
we?
game.
Watergate scandal, the
It's
sinking
all
of the
been
Titanic,
on his shoulders because he
asteroid
understands
didn't
the
kill
game,
the
he
dinosaurs,
understands
it
us,
was
he
Tasty Steve's
understands
huge
everything,
schlong.
and the core
Where are
of the
we?
game. And
I
that's why
missed
it's
20
been balanced and fair.
seconds.
And now
That's
they're
when
taking
you
him
know
out
you
and they're
in a
putting his
Jeremy
fucking
video.
dumpster
If you miss
in
20
front.
seconds,
And
it's
that's
like
why season 3 has
what?
been a
What?
fucking disaster.
He can't be talking
And
about
it's so
anything.
dumb to do something like this. Now, I'm not going to say Michael Murray hasn't done all bad. He has done some good things. And Michael, I will give you props on this. I like the preset new character costumes. The frame data was way overdue. The punishment guides are awesome. But the damage that you're doing with the fucking balancing the game and stupid bullshit, and the negatives are outweighing the positives, and you don't stand the game. And that's why he needs to be replaced with somebody else. Just like George Lucas was replaced with Kathleen Kennedy, and that's been a fucking train wreck. But what should have been done is replace, if he was going to walk away, have Jon Favreau come in. Jon Favreau is the writer and creator of Mandalorian. He's also directed the first Iron Man, which launched the MCU. Now you put somebody like that who's like Lucas, and then things could explode and become better. Harada, what I'm saying is Harada, and if Namco has the decision to have Harada be somewhere else, then you need to find somebody who's like Harada or better to take his place and make these decisions. And it's not Michael Murray because he's fucking everything up. I mean, we don't want this fucking bullshit. And see, I'm able to download people in real life, but we all play Tekken and we're all able to download opponents. So you guys know
The
exactly what I'm
timing
talking about
of
when I
that
say download
delivery.
opponent.
We
Well, I'm
don't
gonna
want this
explain
fucking
downloading
bullshit.
somebody
And
in
then
real
that
life,
picture of
and I'll
Murray
explain
smiling,
what
and it's just
I'm talking about
It's
with
too
Mike Murray
good.
and all this
it
bullshit.
is simply too
I'm able
good.
to see easily, but I'm going to explain it in Tekken terms for you guys.
Sorry, Arsenal team. You're not
You
my
can learn a
favorite
lot from
Tekken editor
an
anymore.
opponent.
It's Jeremy.
By the way he plays, and you can learn a lot just by the character he picks, correct? We all know this. So let's look at Harada. So Harada will enter tournaments. He enters his own tournaments. Let that sink in.
Oh, Jeremy smokes
He
Masood.
enters tournaments.
Masood ain't got no fucking
And
chance.
he will pick characters like Heihachi Mishima and Fang. Let that sink in. Harada enters tournaments and picks characters like Heihachi. That's why he understands the games. That's why he's fair and balanced. Because of that, he gets it. And
My
he will
God,
ignore
how-
certain things, and he freaking
We're at
knows
46
what to do
minutes.
and the right risk it takes, and he knows that it's about.
Okay.
He knows it's
16
difficult, but he
minutes
also
more.
knows it's fair, and that's what hooks people. Because when you invest in something that's difficult and you get a reward, that's what hooks you, even though it's fair. Okay, that's the personality of Harada. Now we all know Michael Murray has to play Tekken. There's no way he isn't. But Michael Murray.
Ducky, what the part at 55 minutes you talked about, what was that? Was that when he talks about how Jack 6 assassinated JFK? Or is that later in the video?
Michael Murray designed a character like Leroy Smith. What type of player would design a character like Leroy Smith? What type of character would also nerf strong characters and then design a character like Leroy Smith? Think about it. The person in charge right now is a green rank scrubbed. Do you guys understand? This is a major fucking problem because the entire Tekken community is smarter and mentally stronger than Michael Murray.
What did he say?
And Namco, you've got to fucking understand this. You've got to find a replacement who's like Harada, who understands the game, who understands people, who understands businesses, who can take the game farther.
He called
Because
Murray
it
a
will
green
not
rank
work
scrub.
with Michael Murray. See, I have a vision for Tekken that it can become more mainstream, and I did a little experiment with people who don't give a fuck about video.
People have to understand that there is a balancing team at Bandai Namco. They refer to as the battle tuning team. You can see it in the end credits of Tekken 7. And the lead in that team is Mishima Star. And he's quite a legendary Japanese Mishima player. He made Kazuya. Very, very good. So he perfectly understands Tekken, you know.
Games.
And he's done a great job. Great job.
Fuck about Tekken. Don't know. I even did this with my dad. I did this with my sister. I just wanted to see what happened. I showed them the match between Little Majin and JDCR, and I've showed it to a bunch of people. Everybody who watched that got into it and wanted to see more. So if done correctly, Tekken can become bigger than what it is. But you can't do it with somebody like Michael Murray because he's fucking everything up. Because once it gets popular and people want to come back to it, what are they going to find? They're going to find a fucking mess that is constantly fucking diluted and fucked up. And he's always trying to cover up shit. And it's a fucking train wreck ever since Season 3 started. You have to have a solid foundation. You can't fuck that up. And then if you have a solid foundation, then you can add to it and let it grow and take Tekken in a different scenario. Can't do it. We got to find somebody who is like Harada. If you're going to take Harada away, you either bring him back or you find somebody who's like him, if not better. Equal to or better than Harada. And I get what y'all are fucking doing, that Michael Murray's been around, act like he fucking earned it or something, but that's like the janitor at fucking Namco's been there for 40 fucking years and now it's time to put him in charge of Tekken. No, Tekken's way too complicated to put it in anybody's hands except for somebody fucking understands it.
Jesus fucking Christ, guys. Have mercy in the chat, okay? We love Jeremy. Please. Keep it respectful, for God's sake.
This is what I'm saying. This needs to, and the way this goes
clean,
back
guys.
to Adrian is Harada is a fucking leader. And now he's gone. Michael Murray's a fucking follower. And as soon as he took charge, what did he do? He started looking in the community for other people to follow because he can't make decisions on his own. So, of course, he's going to look at people like Adrian and choice other people when they're in developmental stages and then fuck the whole game up because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And that put Adrian in a fucking weird scenario because now he can't learn and grow. Because a green rank scrub, to get to a place where you're like in tournaments and you can get in top 8, people in top 8 don't complain about characters because they've reached a certain level. And it takes years to get that mindset, and it's a mindset. It takes them years to get there. Michael Murray's not there. We need somebody else. And what he did is he put a bunch of pressure on somebody like Adrian. And this is Adrian's fucking livelihood. He's just a dude who wants to play a game and make a living at it, and Michael Murray's fucking everything up. So yeah, I haven't gave a fuck about this whole scenario about what's going on. And again, I consider Adrian a friend, and I totally hang out with the fucking dude, and I might be able to plan on going to Evo this year. Some shit happened I was going to go last year, but it didn't happen. But bump into him if he fucking goes in tournaments. Yeah, I totally hang out with fucking Adrian. I like Adrian. But this whole fucking thing between us, and this is more like job security than anything. But the motherfucker knows I'm right. But here's the thing. Now that it's out in the open, it's all going to work out for the best. Because, okay, you did...
I stand there in the middle of a locale, you know, meeting some players, and then I hear, Adrian! I turn around and I see his shiny head, and it reflects into my eyes. I go blind, and he's like, oh God.
Shit. I know you're fucking watching. We could get that out of the fucking way. I've been quiet about it, but I know you motherfuckers are watching. Now we can all actually start having the conversations we need to fucking get some real changes going, and to fix this whole fucking bullshit with like the like Akuma being coming into the game from a different system, and him having a dick jab low poke juggle that's never been in fucking Tekken, and it still needs to be removed. And then this whole fucking bullshit about Leroy. And here's the thing about Leroy. Leroy's a bigger problem than even I realized. There's this guy who he did a video of how Leroy breaks the balance of the game, and I'll leave a link to that. And It's in a different language, but subtitles are English, but he breaks it down brilliantly. And this is the shit I'm talking about, how there's extremely intelligent people in Tekken, and they're going to come out and they're going to shred Michael Murray to fucking pieces. But if you watch that, you will see the arrogance of Michael Murray in the design of fucking Leroy. And here's the thing. I keep hearing people saying they did that to sell DLC. Bullshit. They didn't do that. This is a fucking pure arrogance. All right? Leroy is pure fucking arrogance. Are y'all forgetting that Gunryu came out too? And he's the same Gunryu. Are you forgetting that Negan came out and he was completely unique, but he was designed with balance in mind? No. Watch this video and you'll see the arrogance of Michael Murray and fucking the Leroy Smith problem. It's arrogance. What this is a fucking little man's disease. And we've all witnessed this kind of bullshit before. The guy who follows the boss around, kissing his ass, and then finally gets in a position of power and he lets it go to his head. That's what this fucking shit is all about. And
I mean, I don't mind when he shits on me, but shitting on Murray, come on.
this is a problem that we need to fucking fix. We need somebody who actually gives a shit, doesn't have a superiority complex over everybody, and looks at us at all like equals. Because if Season 2 was brought over to Season 3 and all the characters just got new moves and then they lifted some up, right? Adrian wouldn't be in the situation he is now. Because nobody would have listened to that. He would have been able to learn and adapt and change, and he wouldn't be any pressure of what's going on. Because the fucking thing about Michael Murray coming in and looking at the Tekken community and doing this fucking bullshit favoritism of balancing is it puts people, puts them on the spot. And then all he has to do, like a cop-out little bitch, is if things don't work out like they're not working out right now, is he could be like, well, they asked for it. So he could be like, nothing sticks to me. This is the fucking mindset of a green rank scrub. Doesn't take fucking responsibility. Now Harada, he will take risks. And it shows. But the thing about a risk and reward is when you take a risk, you can get a reward. But
okay, so we only have 8 more minutes. But in terms of Leroy being completely broken, I don't think that's on Murray. I mean, Harada designed the character, and then the tuning team, do the balancing. Although I don't know who designs the actual moves, and I don't know if the tuning team designs the character's gameplay. Probably not. But Harada was behind the visuals of a character and probably the overall personality of a character. And I think it's probably true that they made him broken on purpose because they were expecting him to do so well. And they wanted everyone who picked him up to do well with him, to feel that they spent the cash on something good. And then, you can always nerf him later. Of course, they're going to look at him. I mean, no one knows, but probably they saw it as a quick cash grab, as it was painfully obvious that the community loved Leroy. You have T-Pain, famous US rapper, jumping around in Leroy cosplay, like, boom. That's pretty sensational. You've hit something. What's the expression? You've struck gold. So what do? They make sure Leroy can do everything, and he does everything really well. So I think there's probably credibility to that theory, but I don't see what Murray has to do with it. Certainly, he's the head of Tekken now. He's the chief producer, but I think it's naive to think that he operates without Harada's direct approval. I think you very much, even though on paper Murray is the lead on Tekken, I think definitely you have Harada standing behind him or above him, and he's probably looking for Harada's approval on pretty much everything they do, I think. And you gotta remember that when they presented the frame data on a stream in Tokyo, it was Harada being in charge. It was not Murray. So, and who presented everything at Tekken World Tour Finals? Harada. So it's like, pinning this on Murray, I think, is a little bit.
But if you also take a risk, you could get a failure, but if you get a failure, you learn from it. And what happened in Tag 2 Tag 2 was a risk with the crash system. Now, I never liked the crash system, and most people didn't, but it was a risk. But what did Harada do? He learned from it, and when we went to Tekken 7, what did he do? He went back to the basics, and that's what a real leader does. Is when something's wrong, and he sees it doesn't work, he goes back to the basics. When he takes a risk and it rewards, he adds to it. But if something's wrong, he learns from it and then goes back. Michael Murray's not like that. He's just fucking covering up in this new whatever fucking patch is coming. I guarantee that isn't going to fix any problems. I mean, even Eris the Gambling Man wouldn't fucking bet on that because of what I've seen. Now, if he were to prove me wrong, I'd be the first one to pat him on the back. But I seriously doubt it. And that's the fucking problem that needs to be addressed. And you motherfuckers, I know you're watching these videos. Let's start having these conversations and start getting fucking real change to direct our game back to where it needs to be and start bringing people together. Because right now there's so much tension, there's so much division, and it's fucking stupid. And I've already been through this, so I don't mind being the bad guy. Y'all can actually take these videos and get them to Harada, get them to the CEOs, let them watch it. And even if they get fucking pissed off at me, it doesn't matter. Because like Michael Murray's the...
Because, Jeremy, they will absolutely drop everything we're doing to listen to a 62-minute rant. Now, I love these rants, Jeremy. They are the best. Every time you drop a video, I click. I love it. But Murray and Harada, like, you gotta make your point very, very quickly. Basically, to get Harada's attention, it's probably more about writing a tweet with as few words as possible to get a point across.
Their boy had been around forever, doesn't fucking matter. What'll happen is they'll hear the truth and it'll stick. And then after a while, they'll be like, holy shit, that bald-headed fucking crazy guy was right about all this shit. And let's force him to take action faster. Let's get this fucking shit on the road and course correct this entire fucking mindset and all those things. And start getting it to where it fucking needs to be. And this is my message to Adrian. Bro, buddy, I know it felt good to make that video and get that shit off your chest. And everything's going to work out for the best.
No, no. I didn't want to get some shit off my chest. It was, I watched a few minutes of your video, Jeremy, and I thought it was hilarious. I wanted to watch the whole thing. God, that's so loud. I wanted to watch the whole thing because you were talking about me in great detail, and I just thought it was hilarious. And I hope I didn't come off as aggressive because I didn't feel emotional at all making that response. I just found it interesting to hear your thoughts about Jin and Kazuya and how you felt they were so similar. But I thought it was hilarious, and that's why I make this one. So absolutely no ill will.
In the end. And but with all that said, and even though it's going to work out better for everybody because of it, Adrian, I want you to be better than that. All right, the greatest compliment I've ever heard for you came from the Real Menace. Do you remember years ago when y'all faced each other in Lions Den? And I'm pretty sure that's the first time I ever saw Eris. I was like, who is this commentator with his beard and he's fucking sarcastic as shit?
Okay, Jesus, his memory and what he knows about this. Was he at Lion's Den? But Eris wasn't at Lion's Den. Is he... I don't know, is he talking about a different tournament? I met Real Menace. I played versus him at Lion's Den. But I never... emote that. But I never... Eris wasn't there. Or
shit, I really like this motherfucker. And I'm not even joking. Because in the Lions Den, when you faced the Real Menace, that was one of the only times, that was when it was going on when we were having Tekken at my house. The gang got together on that night, and we didn't play... That was one of the only times we didn't play Tekken. What we did is, one of my buddies streamed it to my phone, and we watched that live. And I remember watching the match, and you dropped some pretty intense fucking juggles that would give you key rounds that could have led toward victory. But I remember days later, somebody was asking the Real Menace about facing you. Real Menace says, he's not just a combo guy. He's really good, and he was much stronger than I thought he would be in the game. And I know what he's talking about, and I agree with him. Adrian, you have the potential not just to be in top 8s, but to win tournaments. You have the potential to take the Tekken community on a journey we've never seen before. You can grind it out and show everybody what it takes to get there. And I know you can do it because when you're too smart and you're too good at the game, you're too passionate about it, and when you fucking apply yourself to things, you go all the fuck in. And let us watch that. Take us all on that fucking journey because I know you can fucking do it. You need more offline play. Don't abandon online play, but you need more offline play. And I'm not going to say it's going to be convenient unless it's going to be a fucking grind, but it's worth it. And we want to see it. Show us things we've never seen before. Like if you get signed by like a sponsor or something, take a camera in there, show the process and stuff like that. Vlog going to tournaments. Show the grind. Eris does videos where he's in the lab for hours and people watch that. You can show the grinds and don't lie and don't cover up your failures anymore. Remember, you're not the only one who's going to learn from this stuff. Other people will learn from your mistakes, and it's okay to make these mistakes. And I want to see you in tournaments. I want you to see betters, and I want no more fucking excuses about characters. You're better than that. If somebody beats you, there's no move that's scrubbus. There's no flowchart that's scrubbus. There's no technique that's scrubbus if it wins. You thank the guy, you go back, you look at and see what you could have done, and you learn from it. And you keep grinding until you're winning tournaments. Because I want the Tekken community one day to see a pain video from Adrian in top 8s. Let that sink in. Think about that. Go down that path. You started to see that vision at Evo. Stay on that path and take us on that fucking journey. I know you can do it, and I want you to be stronger, and I want you to be better. And when Adrian starts doing that, and he starts going on
well, that was heartfelt.
Tournaments, it is inevitable for his mindset to change. I know it's going to happen. He's too fucking smart, and he grasps the concept. He went to one tournament, and he grasped the concept that I took grinding it out with years with my friends and a lot of people. And here's the thing, Adrian. Listen, we are going to fight to get the dick jab and low poke juggle from Akuma out of here. We are going to fight to get the fucking Leroy situation fixed, and we're also going to fight to get the fucking Michael Murray thing fixed. But do not waste this opportunity. Look at this as an opportunity, because if you can start beating the guys who are using them at top level play, when they do get fixed, it's going to actually boost your game to where it'll be easier for you to beat everybody else. And it'll also be a boost for like the years that you've missed online play if you can learn that. Use this opportunity. Take it. Go after those guys while it's broken, because that's how the Pakistans got so good so fast with Akuma. Use this opportunity. But yeah, when Adrian starts going down that path and his mindset does change, because everybody's done that. Everybody's grinded out. And if anybody starts giving him shit and calling him a fucking hypocrite, I'm going to come after you. I don't give a fuck if you talk shit about me, but if you talk shit about my boy when he's fucking trying to change and better himself, I'm going to come after you. I'm going to make you look like a fucking idiot. Then I'm going to have my boy Eris fuck your mom. Then I'm going to have my boy No Pants take a picture of you and draw a little beard on it so everybody knows Eris is your fucking dad now. I mean, I'm not going to fuck your MILF. My standards are way too fucking high. But Eris will fuck your MILF. He'll fuck all your MILFs. And let this sink in. He's probably fucking your MILFs in the exact same room he's streaming in.
Top 8.
That is a legend when it comes to trolling and being a savage. See, Eris, you got my back, I got yours, brother. I'm going to send a bunch of fucking MILFs your way. But then after that, you little fucking scrub bitch, for saying some dumb shit like that, then we're all going to laugh at you for being a dumb fuck loser. So kick rocks, get in the fucking lab, and get better, scrub. Alright, you bunch of stoners. Later, fuckers.
How about another joke, Murray?
No, I think we've had
Stronger than I...
Okay. So, the ending aside, what was he talking about before the very powerful ending? Oh, he made an emotional plea to me, and that was kind of heartfelt. It's cool that he cares so much. But regarding, I'd love to take the game. I take the game very seriously these days, and I'd love to do well in tournaments. But the philosophy approach he had, where he said that nothing in the game is cheesy, you can counter everything, and he's absolutely correct when he says that. But I feel like if you say that, there's some form of elitism that goes with it, in my opinion, because there definitely is cheese in this game. It's like, both of those are correct. There's cheese in the game. Oh, sorry. I'm crying. And everything can be countered. So both of those exist at the same time. So, in my opinion. I mean, saying there's no cheese in Tekken is just so... I don't know. Am I crazy? It's like in Season 2 when I spammed Aura with Noctis, or Downback 2, or... you know, I don't know. Obviously, there's cheese in the game. But this video was legendary. Like, I had some expectations on a response video to me from Jeremy, but this blew all of my expectations away. This is... I mean, I can only say again that I'm a fan of Jeremy. I've been ever since the first video Ducky showed me. I mean, Ducky, you were right. You said he's the Christopher Nolan of Tekken. It's like, he fucking is. So it's like, yeah, I just can't wait until he does another video. I'll watch it. You know, this is too good. It's just too good. And yeah, Jeremy, I just love the fact that you care so much. You're so passionate, and I mean, God knows, you know, I agree with 1% of the things you say, but you're so convinced that I can't help but root for you. Everything is so heartfelt. But great video. And I will ask Jeremy for permission again to post a response. So we'll see if this ends up on YouTube. But if it does, I will link Jeremy's video, of course.